Good evening, legends. Welcome to another episode of Chat with Matt, where I talk to, well, all sorts of different people now. Up until this point, Chat with Matt has been all about obstacle racing. I've now turned that into the Aussie OCR podcast. Chat with Matt is where I'm going to diversify a little bit and speak to all sorts of different people that might not be connected to obstacle racing. And I'm kicking off this first sort of, new episode with the new direction, chatting to another amazing online coach, Matt Boyles. And Matty Boyles is the founder of Fitter You Global, which specializes in online training for gay, bi, and trans men. And he's over in the UK. I've known Matty a long time. I remember when he was Fitter You London, and he's just an amazing guy. He's got an amazing personality. He's a lot of fun. And when COVID started it started everywhere, but over in the UK, Matty started doing some live workouts daily. And I think he just surpassed his 300th live workout. From memory, I think I saw that post a few weeks ago. So absolutely incredible work he's doing over there. And I'll bring him on screen so he can tell you all about it. Matty, how are you, man?
Good, thank you. And I didn't realize I was the first non-OCR person to be interviewed. What an honor!
It's warranted. You're an interesting guy. You're an amazing coach. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure I just saw what you're doing. I think you were just sharing and putting on your stories.
Sure did.
So let's just do the same. We'll throw this on the gram. I think a couple of your guys said they were going to jump on and watch this today too.
They're good eggs.
Live right now with
awesome
Fitter You Global.
IT.
And you guys are back in lockdown again, aren't you, over in the UK?
Yes. I mean, did we ever leave? Who knows?
Is it just fucking Groundhog Day over there, man?
It literally, that's the best expression for it. I go to the shops once a week. I go for the odd run. That's it. It's just stay in the house. But that obviously is why I'm so grateful to have moved into online training, because I was a trainer for 6 years before I even thought about online training. And that decision, clearly, I didn't predict the pandemic, but I'm grateful that I was set up for it because it just meant I could continue working and helping people.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think you and I probably started online probably around the same time.
Yeah, we did, like end of 2017.
Yeah, it's definitely a lucky, be on the lucky side of the coin to already be situated as an online trainer. But yeah, we will get into all of that. First things first, guys, if you are watching live, give me a hashtag live. A heap of guys are already. And I can bring you on screen. It's real nice. I can see your pretty profile picture. Dominique is here from the lounge room. Harvey Nutt is here as well. Harvey, how are you? Kieran Moore. That's a name I don't.
Kieran, one of mine.
Might be one of yours. And Sean Lusham's here as well. He's going to be at my boot camp on Sunday. So
amazing,
Matty. A lot of people
boot camps. What a concept.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm rubbing salt in the wound, aren't I?
You are rubbing it in. That's
we go outside and exercise here. You usually outside. We usually when I speak to people, they're a little bit nervous going live on camera, and that wouldn't be happening for you at all, because I think you're live on camera more than I am. How did the live workout start? Where did that all begin?
I'm wanting to give back. Well, like when original lockdown started, we'll be through this in 8 or 10 weeks. So let's just do something fun that, I enjoy and gives me this anchor point in the day as well. And even before that, I'd been doing live at 5, which was invariably never at 5, for about 2 years. So like getting used and comfortable to speaking on camera and just being myself. And, if people like me, they get me and they hang around. And if they don't, that's cool. They go and find another trainer. And that I'm totally cool with that. But I knew I'd done a few live workouts before the whole this outside of our windows. and there was an appetite for it. So I started it, and they weren't daily at first. And then I just was like, yeah, I'll do daily. That's fine. This will be done in 8 weeks. And then obviously it wasn't. But then like this incredible community. So Kieran, who's watching, is part of it, had started building around it and just brought people together in this way. And so I made it originally that like, oh, you might need some equipment. I realized to make it as accessible, no equipment, all scalable, quite silly a lot of the time, just because people don't necessarily always want, 1,000 burpees till they explode. They want connections and a bit of fitness and warmth and that community that was taken away from us. So that was the starting point. And then we got to 200 in October, and then we came sort of out of lockdown. So we went down to like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and then hit again. And then so from like November went back to daily, and then so last Tuesday did 300, which was kind of mind blowing, but there you go. And the beauty of Facebook Live is that they're all saved. So hey, guys, if you've got about 180 hours on your time, go back and replay them.
Well, a lot of people have probably got 180 hours of free time now that they're
well, you say that, yes.
They've already watched all of Netflix. So, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get on and chat to you, Matty, because I think I see people take their different flavors with fitness, and people do things different ways. And I think you and I share something in common in that there's a big focus on community and trying to create the inclusive community that anyone who, well, as long as they're not a dickhead, they can be a part of it. As long as you're nice to each other, you're welcome.
Yes, that's the rule.
How did it all start for you, man? How did you work out who you wanted to work with?
Oh, good question. So in those first 6 years when I was a face-to-face trainer, I worked with anyone. And my thinking was, if I work with anyone, I can work with everyone. But you don't. You fall through the cracks. Yeah. Like, no one knows who you really speak for and understand. And I was doing fine, but I wasn't changing the world. And I had seen firsthand, like with my body and my mind and my life, that, that building fitness regularly into your life does make a difference if you understand how it works for you. And clearly about 3 years ago was the rise of some mega online trainers, and just seeing that and realizing, I think I could do that, but I think I can do it my way. And it might help people who who aren't always reached by the fitness industry, or feel sidelined, or don't feel comfortable walking into a gym. Like, that was the kernel of the idea of, how can I just help people feel as good as I'm starting to feel? And realizing that actually, any minority is always marginalized and often feels sort of not spoken to, or they don't recognize themselves in advertising, or when they see themselves in content that, say, the fitness industry puts out. It's, certainly until recently, traditionally it was the guys lifting weights in the gym, it was the girls getting beach body ready, and that was it. So representation and seeing yourself in something is really important, and that was why I wanted to share that. I'm just a fitness boy. I'm not like I'm not down the gym every day, but I have realized how much I love it and how much you can love it. And you don't have to love it as much as me, but we can play around with it and we make it fun and build that community, and just start to bring in people who didn't think fitness was for them. Maybe they had bad experiences at school or growing up. And so people write off sport and fitness and go, oh, it's just something other people do. But it doesn't have to be like that. So building and reaching out to gay, bi, trans, people in the LGBTQ community who didn't feel connected with fitness was the starting point. And realizing that online and moving into online training allowed me to reach them so much more effectively and build these supportive communities was the starting point. And like, the snowball's just grown and grown and grown. And I'm so proud of what I do, but so proud of everyone who's been brave enough to join me as well and be part of that.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And you can see it comes from the heart, and it comes from the right place. And you're truly passionate about what you do. And I think that's why you've been able to, keep the flame going and stay on the grind, because it is a grind to build. And you've I remember, man, you were was it Fit U London when we first met?
So that was, because that was where I trained. So when I trained people in the parks in London, it was, it's Fit U London. But of course, when you're trying to be online, it put people off because it was meant to be like, oh, Donna Karen, New York, she sells clothes all around the world. She doesn't just sell them in New York. But Fitting You London was like, oh, we could only get fit in London with him. So I had to change it to global and probably universe next, or Cosmiverse.
Cosmiverse. That's the way you'll go.
Yeah.
So you specialize in, or I guess you lean towards working with gay men and bi men and trans men. What are the biggest things that I guess going from working with everyone to working with specifically, say, gay men, what were the biggest modifications that you had to make?
So this is what this is what trolls on the internet can't grasp. And I'm sure you've had your fair share as well.
Plenty.
But clearly, like, bodies are essentially the same. So the physical elements of what I help people with, exercise, nutrition, accountability, support, that of course is the same for everyone. And I would be a charlatan to suggest otherwise. It's being able to layer in that empathy, that understanding of, like I said, about what I remember, like 15 years ago, walking into a gym and going, I don't belong here. I feel scared. Everyone's looking at me. I hate it. I'm just going to go on a treadmill for 10 minutes and go home. Like, I lived that. And obviously that journey of being comfortable in the gym, if you want to stay in the gym, is your own to go on and understand. But being able to understand why someone's not comfortable in that scenario is really powerful and really helpful. But then connected with that, so the community that I've built. So there's an amazing, like your free group as well. So I've got this group of 4,500 guys from around the world that is so inclusive and reaching and supporting, again, people who didn't think they liked fitness, and making it like silly and like taking the pressure off. So we came up with a hashtag that is I did a fitness, to really make it so someone goes for a walk, I did a fitness. Someone goes for a run or whatever they did. Like, that's how we encourage to share it, to make it accessible and take like any stress and pressure away from it.
Yeah.
So that community element, there are some parts of my program, like I've got these things called confidence boosting challenges, and it's a series of emails they get, and it's just to help people look at topics that we sometimes do on autopilot from a different perspective. And there's a bit of a slant towards LGBTQ life, but it's the empathy, the community, and just feeling seen and understood that really is the biggest thing that I can offer.
Yeah, awesome. I've just posted that that group in the chat. If anyone wants to check it out.
You're the best.
Is it one thing that I definitely wanted to bring up, because you mentioned trolls, and I've seen it over the years. When you specialize, so when you say, I am about building confidence in gay men and bi and trans, and extending, that whole group, I guess. I've seen people like troll you under your ads and say, well, how come it's only for those people? Like,
yeah,
to that effect. How do you handle that? How do you get around that?
You mean the guys who go, what about the straight guys? When are we going to be represented in advertising?
Exactly that.
Well, in every single post on the internet is the answer to that. So it used to really upset me, because I was very much brought up, you've got to keep everyone happy and balance everyone and like look out for everyone and be that people pleaser. And so that is my own personal journey of not getting stressed when someone doesn't like what I do. And like, you can hear coaches say a million times, oh, it's good that you've got trolls. But actually, it's still, certainly in the early days, it still hurts. And it's still that, why don't they like what I'm doing? I'm doing something good. Questioning. And again, kind of like that, getting comfortable going into a gym. I just have to get comfortable with the idea that not everyone's going to like what I do, obviously, because they're dicks. Or they haven't actually read what I do as well. But then coming back to, okay, I know I'm helping hundreds of guys around the world. I know my community is helping thousands of guys around the world. Like, actually, I am in that place where I can say, it doesn't matter that someone does a keyboard warrior, I'm not going to read anything. I'm just going to tell you my opinions, like response. It really, you know what? Occasionally one of them gets through, but I just don't look at them really anymore. Like, I'll glance at my ads. Because the thing is, people who, like I said, get me and want to work with me or join the community, they don't even look at that either, or they see that and they shrug it off as well. So why should it bother me? The trolls don't put off people. They're almost like a filter system. Like, fine, we weren't right for each other. Be a troll and piss off. Everyone else filters through and makes it. So it's just part of life of having an online business. You've got to. They're out there with their own axe to grind.
And I think it's just putting yourself out there, isn't it? Like anytime you're putting yourself out there, you're gonna get criticism. You're gonna get people that don't agree with what you do.
Yeah. But there's an amazing quote. I think it's one of the Roosevelts. Let's attribute it to one of the Roosevelts, and it's about until you step into the arena, you have no right to. Well, it's very easy to shout from the cheap seats, but until you step into the arena and do the work, you actually have no right, and your comments aren't valid. And I love that. Both of us, we step into the arena every day.
Yeah, I think it's Teddy
literally behind you. You've got your suit on. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, I go to battle in that. It's good fun. I'm pretty sure that's a Teddy Roosevelt quote. The man who is in the arena with mud on his face or something. Like, it's a long quote, but it's a good quote. It's a good quote. You know what? One of the things, actually, first, what I'm going to do is just go through these live comments. Ben's here. Bill Gallagher, greetings from the frozen north.
Bill.
Can you see these comments, Matty? Can you see this?
I can only see. No, I can only see the name come up. It says greetings from frozen north. Is that the comment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, perfect. Hi, Bill.
Cool. Tammy Cox is here. Dora Beckett. Oh my God, my two favourite Matts in one place. Matt B, you make exercise fun. Dora, how long have you been following Matty Boyles? We might have.
It was when we did something before. Maybe when we did the merchandise swap.
Might be. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, have we just randomly attracted the same person across like the world?
I shout about you, and I know lots of my guys. Like, I talk about sometimes OCR in my group, and I know quite a few of my guys came over to you as well because they were interested in it. So yeah, you know, there's cross-pollination. It's a beautiful thing.
I like that term. Kenneth's here as well.
Oh, hey Kenneth.
Corey is joining from a beach run, and
nice.
Dora started following you last year.
Mega.
You one of the biggest things that I've seen you talk about, I guess in your marketing and in your messaging is helping gay men build confidence. How do you go about that?
There's a 8-week pill series they have to take, and there's a cream.
Where do they rub the cream?
Is there an anal option?
There's always an anal option.
Yeah, it's you know what? Obviously you can't specifically say do this and build confidence. It's all the elements that come together. So something else I encourage people to try is meditation as well, which I know you are a fan of. And that sort of moment of peace and realizing you can keep the outside world at arm's length, coupled with going on your own fitness journey and realizing, like, again, you can't correlate it directly, but as you realize your body can change and get stronger and fitter and you can do more things, it sort of builds into this. It's almost like osmosis. You get just a bit more resilient. You understand your body's capabilities, and it sort of plays out in confidence. Obviously, like, there are other confidence boosting challenge emails which talk about things like body image and technology and alcohol and social situations to give you a different perspective and almost demystify them, because that can help. Like, a different perspective can help people realize that things aren't always as scary as we build them up to be in our minds. But how do I build confidence with all of these different tools at our disposal? And that's why the program's called Fit and Confident You, because it just happens as you go through it. And I guess realizing that so many people I work with have body image issues, and realizing A, they're in charge of their own body, and B, that actually they can be proud of it, whatever it looks like, and whatever it does, and just instilling that steadily, bit by bit, and it is that for me. I think the ultimate thing, though, is that deciding to do something positive for yourself long term, a bit of fitness, a bit of understanding about nutrition, maybe like a few things like that. You're in control of this physical realm that you live in, like, because the body's just a body, but you can change it and you can build it. And realizing that you have that power, I think, goes a long way to building confidence.
Yeah, it's empowering for sure. Giving people the tools.
Yeah,
definitely. From the outside looking in, and I'm going to make some potentially offensive generalizations, but from the outside looking in, I would think that, like, if I talk about my, I guess, pain points of my market. So like what the people that I work with obstacle racers, and usually they either want to get faster or they want to get fitter. For the most part, the people that I work with, it's not about body image. It's about like physical performance or confidence, or being able to believe in themselves that they could do events they don't think they could do. You mentioned that a big part of your guys that you work with, it's a body confidence thing. How do you go about taking somebody who is focused on the aesthetic and guide them towards the holistic? So how do you get them to, I guess, transcend that?
Good question. Can I just say, though, about your lovely crew, do you not think I'm going to answer a question with a question. Do you not think, though, that maybe like obstacle racing isn't the most mainstream thing, and it's not going to a gym, it's not doing CrossFit? Do you think because it's not the obvious mainstream thing, that maybe people who do have, even if they don't necessarily talk about it, who aren't comfortable with mainstream fitness or just going into a gym, that's why they've gravitated to OCR?
Yeah, you definitely could be onto something. I guess it's how I've sort of positioned it as well. I think if you talk about, I'm going to help you lose weight, like you that will resonate with the people who are hunting for that. And I guess you like, I think I've taken the direction I've gone because that's what I've seen people want. And I guess that's been the same for your journey. Like you've seen that as the thing that guys, struggle with the most, and that's sort of where you end up, because that's where you can do the most good and do the most help. It's not to say that I don't have clients who are on weight loss journeys or want to lose weight, but it's quite different to say if I was a bodybuilder who is purely focused on the aesthetic. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sort of. Sorry, I guess what I'm. The thing I'm interested about is when I talk to you and when I see you, you are very confident with your body, and your messaging is that you should be happy with your body, no matter what it looks like. So it's about that particular stage of the journey. Like, how do you get somebody shifted? How do you facilitate that mindset shift?
Yep. When people are so fixated on one thing, like either how their body looks in a certain way or how getting it to look a certain way, or the other example that we often see is numbers on a scale, like saying a certain number, like I'll be happy when I'm X kilos. It's like they've got in a car and there's a destination they want to get to, and they just look straight ahead and they only drive straight ahead looking at the destination. But obviously they miss the amazing things that are happening on the journey as they go past. So I feel my job is to help them understand and appreciate all the other amazing things that happen as a result of this, of starting this journey. So we call them NSVs, non-scale victories, because along with body image, people can be obsessed with numbers. So helping people realize that the numbers are just one metric, but Like, are you sleeping better? Do your clothes fit better? Have you got more energy? Has your sex drive increased? Have you got a better relationship with food? Are you enjoying exercise? Are you like, there's trillions of these. And opening up that, I can't think of a good metaphor. Opening up that Pandora's box, no, that's negative. Opening up a nice box of other things that you can appreciate about how amazing your body is and what it can do is so much of that journey. And this is another thing in my marketing and content and everything I put out, I've never once talked about image or appearance. So I talk about strength and fitness and enjoyment and mood and mental health and all of these things. Your appearance will change, of course, when you start to do things like this, but don't prioritize, well, helping people not prioritize that as the top thing to be doing it for, because that's the other thing. When you're doing it mostly for body image, it's pretty much, or it's 99% of the time for external reasons, for other people, for the outside world. Whereas bringing that motivation and that drive inwards to, I want to feel better. I want to wake up in the morning and not be sluggish. I want to best lifting heavier. Like, there are so many different things, but you can bring them all right back in, and they become 1,000 times more powerful than doing it because I want to look a certain way on the beach or in a different scenario. So bringing it back in here is what's key.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I'm just going to shut this door. My Rottweiler's not
I'm going
getting
to have
enough
a protein
attention,
shake, like a cliche.
obviously. I've got my water, but it's not sparkling water, which I'm a bit upset about. I don't have any cold sparkling water. Well, it's morning there. It's morning there.
It is.
It's 6:30 p.m. here. How long are you guys still in lockdown over there?
Oh, who even knows? Like,
supposed to be.
At least I think another 8 weeks, I would say. Like, I'd be surprised if anything happens before the end of March. Who knows? Like, it's best, we've got to that stage where it's best not to try to imagine and just roll with it as best you can. Because we've had our hopes up and down the whole time that you've had our hearts broken so many times. We don't want to get hurt anymore. So just suck it up and as best we can. Do as much as you can to look after yourself and stay sane and reach out to people. But I can't comprehend a date that this will end over here.
Yeah, wow. Is it completely crazy over there at the moment? Are your numbers still mental?
They've started to come down, but like on a few weeks ago, a single day of deaths was the same as your total day number of deaths in 9 months. Like,
yeah, wow.
The numbers just were so incomprehensible at some point, and it was just devastating and just awful.
You've been a rock for a big community of guys over there, and I know when everything kicked off here and we went into lockdowns, we went into lockdowns fairly early and pretty severe lockdowns. I had a lot of active clients who were training for events, who couldn't go to the gym anymore, who had the events snatched away. I had about 50 people lose their mind overnight. And I sort of had to put out all these fires.
Yeah.
How have you personally dealt with being the rock, when obviously a lot of your liberties and a lot of your, the things that keep you going have been taken away?
Look, I'm very grateful and aware that I have a lot of privileges. I live in a nice flat. I live with my partner, who I like most of the time. We've got a bit of outdoor space. I got to keep working. He was keeping working. So we have a roof over our head. We have heating, food, wine when we want it. We were in as good a position as I think you can be to ride it out. And I guess I've always been an optimistic, positive person. And so even the not knowing of what's happening or what's going on, like, yes, I have a very silly sense of humor, but I also have a very stoic side to me as well. So I can just get on with stuff. And that, I think, and also actually, if last year had been my first year as an online trainer, I don't think I would have known how to handle it all and cope with it all. Because actually, in my first year of being a trainer, I went from, training 12 people a week to suddenly having this reach of thousands online. And I didn't handle it very well because no one taught me how. And I didn't really I was like, oh, these people are my friends. They're my clients. I'm listening to problems. And I was like, and it sent me a bit mad in the first year. Like, I had to take a step back after about 6 months and go, because the other thing was I was suddenly on my phone so much more, like content, replying to emails, blah, 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 blah. And I was just square-eyed and burning out. So realizing that I wasn't feeling like Matt normally does, me, not you, being able to extricate myself for a few days and just step back and go, okay, this can't continue. I love what I do, but this can't continue. So doing that and taking a little bit of time off and figuring out how to manage client relationships in the online world and things like that was like, okay, that helped me understand this isn't a case of just learning how to keep it at arm's length and also close the door on it when I need to, like for the weekend or have downtime. But so if that had been last year, I probably wouldn't have been People's Rock because I would have been navigating that world myself. But because that happened a few years ago and I've got systems in place and support, and I was able just, to be there. And providing the online daily live workout, genuinely though, was great for me as well. Like I said, this anchor point of, okay, it's got to be ready for midday every day. It's got to be fun and interesting, and I've got to promote it before and remind people it's there. So especially like at the start when it was all up in the air, it was that something just to help me get through it. And obviously the fact that it grew and evolved into something so wonderful as well was a bonus, which I hate that expression, but it was.
Yeah, I think having that structure is important. And I definitely
have you been okay?
same.
Being People's Rock and being there.
Yeah. I've been okay. It's been an interesting year. It was an interesting 2020. Super lucky to be an online trainer. Super lucky to be in the situation that I'm in, and as you said, I don't really want for anything. Really have a lot of gratitude about what I have. But I also built a business to be in obstacle racing, and then there was no obstacle racing, and it's like, fuck.
There was one big obstacle, and you couldn't get over it.
That's it. It just felt like all work and no play for a little while. We're a little bit lucky in that we've sort of had events starting to come back. So it's sort of returning to normal. But as you say, you just sort of adjust, right? You just sort of work out what your new baseline is, and you go, well, I can't be in the routine that I was in before because that's not, we can't make that work. So you just got to create some new structure. And I ended up doing a couple of 28-day challenges. One just finished recently. The first one I ran, I think we did in like the first or second week of COVID. I actually think like the gyms closed the day my challenge kicked off the first time. So like March last year. But that actually ended up being so cool, and I think I got 200 people into the first one. It ended up being so cool that it's stuck around, and like we've done, we've done multiple of them since then. So I guess you just sort of adapt. But what you said really, really resonated with me, especially with the tech. So you become a bit of a slave to it, and you become enslaved to your device. And like I had to really get very deliberate in like leaving my phone at home when I went for walks, and not bringing my phone out with meals and stuff like that. Like I think when I first sort of kicked everything off online, I was in a relationship, and it absolutely ended because they were like, you're on your phone all the fucking time. And so that definitely resonates with me.
I put my phone in a drawer at 7:30 p.m. every night and just leave it.
Yeah, I charge mine
any
in my
emergencies
office
overnight
now.
yet.
I charge mine in my office now. I actually, in my last 28-day challenge, it literally finished on Sunday, one of their challenges was they had to charge their phone away from the bed. So it could be in the same room, but it couldn't be within arm's reach of the bed. And I had a heap of
Yep.
people just message me saying this is fucking life changing. Like I feel like it, for the first 3 or 4 days, I had to get out of bed to physically go and check my phone. Like that's how anxious
Yep.
they were. But like weeks later, they're like, I feel like the tether's been cut and I've got my freedom back. Like, as you
Yep.
say, you're not missing anything. You're not missing anything so important.
But I mean, by coincidence, so that is, spoiler alert, is the first confidence boosting challenge that I give people. The flip is I say don't use your phone for the first hour of the day. You don't need to open Facebook. You don't need to see your work emails. You don't need to find out what Linda from HR had for dinner last night. You can keep that at arm's length because it stresses your cortisol and makes it rise quicker than it needs to. Give yourself, even if you can't do an hour, do 20 minutes, like reading a book or just sitting or just like give yourself that peace and quiet first thing in the morning to come to a bit slower, and that calm stays with you for the rest of the day, opposed to like lying in bed going, oh yes, or worse, like looking at the news, scrolling. Oh my god, what's that doing to all of our stress levels? I'll tell you what, sending it through the roof.
Yeah. I think and hopefully we just talk long enough on this interview that I get your whole program. But I think over the years, like you and I have bounced a lot of books back and forth. So like I'll read a book and I'll send it to you, and then you'll read one and send it to me. And I think we sort of ended up where
Sure.
we share a lot of the same sort of values as a trainer, because like trainers vary fucking wildly. I think PT is one of the most varied things. Like if you go to a chiropractor, you're probably going to get a reasonably similar experience no matter which chiropractor you go to. But PTs, like some people just believe fucking nonsense and like teach it. It's a little bit scary. Is there anything else that like, are there any other sort of major pillars, that you stand for as a coach, or maybe things that you see other people do in the industry that you really disagree with, or feel particularly strongly about?
Oh God, how long have you got?
I got time, man. I'll probably get tired. I'll probably get tired before you will.
So I think we've covered like what I stand for, and my pillars are. Well, do you know what? Actually, something else is flexibility. So
Cool.
allowing people breathing space when we're working together to sometimes work does go crazy and you need to just pause things for a week or two, or like giving people that flexibility so they know that whatever happens, it will work out. Because that's so many people come to me and they've started something fitnessy in the past, and they've been doing okay, and then something happens and they feel they've got derailed, so they stop because they think there's no point, they've ruined it all. And a really important thing of what I do is helping people flip that mindset and realizing anything good you've done for yourself is something good you've done for yourself, and you can't unlearn it. It's done, and it's something positive. So just getting back to it. So I've got this saying that people go, oh, I've got to get on the wagon for this holiday, or I fell off the wagon. I'm going to blow your mind. There is no wagon. There's just you looking after yourself, learning what works for you, what you enjoy. And sometimes we can give it more focus and priority, and sometimes we can't. And that's okay. But the only time it doesn't work is if you hard stop forever. And I mean, that's called death. So don't do that. Just pick yourself up, ask for help, support, do it differently. There's always a way to get back to it. So helping people realize that actually is one of the central tenets of what I do. And in terms of things I don't like in the industry is, I guess, you still see like be beach body ready, be speedo ready, be anything ready. Like you're ready already, I promise. Like just put your speedo on and go to the shops. Like just do it. It's okay. Well, don't do that. You do.
I do it. I legit do it. I do exactly that. Okay.
Perfect, which is wonderful. I guess dishonesty as well. And I guess you maybe don't see it as much in OCR, but like people selling programs who have clearly at some point in their life done steroids or are like selling resistance bands, and you did not get that body doing a resistance band workout. Like that discrepancy between what people are saying and what they actually are offering, when there's a gulf between it, I find that it's just so disingenuous and misleading. So very much with me, what you see is what you get. Like, I am this stupid sometimes, and I'll be honest about it. But I do like fitness, but it's not my life. And I think that balance is hopefully appreciated.
Yeah, no, it is, man. It's appreciated by thousands. I think that's why you've done so well. You put your personality into everything that you do, and it's very quirky. I've seen some funny shit that you've done over the years, and I really wish that I spent 15 minutes before we jumped on to try and find some posts. Can you think of anything? Can you think of anything that you planned that just went particularly well, or that was particularly crazy?
Whoa, particularly crazy is, so I, like, for the live workout, I did a scavenger hunt where, so like people in their own homes, and I said, okay, you've got to lunge walk and find something that's 15 years old and then lunge walk back. So it just makes it complete, like people might have stairs or something, just something, a different perspective to give, just to unlock that fitness can be anything, and looking after yourself and enjoying it can happen in any different way. I like to think I created the world's first virtual escape room fitness workout. It was themed around these two women called Barbara and Martine, who set up the world's first female-only gym in 1850 called the Barbell Emporium Parlor.
Is this true?
That's not real, by the way. No, I made it up.
I was just about to write that shit down. I'm like, I'm going to fucking research this. Sounds amazing.
And I did this like workout around, they're locked in a box and it says we need to do 1,500 squats to free them. And so collectively, like, people are like, I've just done 20. And I'm like scribbling down going 20. Oh, what does that? Add 30. Oh God. And like, fitness doesn't need to be something scary or intimidating or boring. It can be anything. And that's, yeah. Do you know what? My goal, not when I was a face-to-face trainer, because I didn't really know what my goal was, but moving into the online sphere, it was, can I be this silly and still have a business and encourage people and still get fit? And it turns out you can, and I love it. And I'm so grateful that I get to do fitness on my terms now. And yeah, I really feel like probably in the last 6 months, I've really found my groove with what I say and how I approach. And I do talk about sensible things. So like this week, I do themed weeks now, and this week is about resilience. So talked about it on the podcast, talked about it in different posts and lives, but there's just to give people fresh perspectives on it and realize, like, resilience comes in different forms, and you maybe are more resilient than you think. So there's serious stuff in there too, but it's always useful, and it's always with personality and heart, I like to think.
Yeah. You produce a lot of content. A lot. A lot.
Some would say too much.
Fuck those people. But how do you create so prolifically? Like, I don't even think I said that word correctly. But how do you create, so much just on a day-to-day basis?
I think partly it's just something that I've always loved doing. And I like creating stuff. I like making stuff. So there's always been a part of me that likes doing that and just seeing what I can come up with. I don't really know how to answer it though. How do I do it? There are some, like, for people getting started, if any PTs watching this, there are some really useful things which if I am struggling. So you can do that if you heard about like the 6x6 or the 8x8 grid. So you write, say, 6 things connected with what you do along the top. So for me, it might be fitness, confidence, LGBTQ stuff, meditation, food, and confidence. Have I said that? I can't remember. Anyway, 6 different things. And then you write 6 different things connected with each of those things underneath. And then instantly you've got 36 different topics you can write about or speak about or do a live about or an email.
I like that.
It really focuses the mind.
Run me through that. So I'm just about to start a new series about running. So I would write 6 things about running on the top.
Yeah. So you're across the top. You might have body weight exercises, running, classic obstacles, nutrition, meditation, sleep, and then underneath each of those, you'll just come up with something to do with. Well, it doesn't. If you can't come up with six, that's okay, but you probably can. It's six different things connected with it, and then instantly you've got six different posts for each of those different categories.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Hey, it's free.
How
The other thing as well is remembering that I'm here to help people and understand them better. So think about, like, come up with 8 or 9 things. Okay, what are the people I work with? What are they struggling with? What mistakes are they making, and how can I help them? And again, that's another like 8 or 9 different things for those 3 different categories.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm just going to check these comments just because I saw them come in. Tammy saying I've struggled after losing 57 kilos, having a
Wow.
tummy tuck to have self-confidence. My head is still stuck at my heaviest. I thought obstacle racing would help, and it has with fitness, but not my head. I'll definitely send you a message off air, Tammy. I'll just set a little reminder to do that. The struggles are real. They definitely can be real. They don't have to be real forever, though. And Akos Sots?
Akos!
Akos. Hey, Matt. How have the well, different question. You said that you've sort of found your groove in the last 6 months. Um, what changed?
I think being more comfortable, a combination of me being willing to go to just dial down on my approach even more, and the live workouts have really helped that. Growing confidence in what I do, who I am, that I'm able to help and support people around the world. It just sort of coalesced. All these different factors have coalesced to, and it is, and like when you start as online, like I didn't know like the right tone of voice or maybe who I was as an online trainer, but I know that now. I can give you my elevator pitch. I understand the power I have. And I don't mean that in a
Like
power I have.
maniacal fucking.
I mean my unique powers,
Yeah.
what I bring to the table. And
Yeah.
do you know what? There's a quote from RuPaul, and it's know who it is and deliver it every time. And just over the last 6 months to a year, I've really learned who I am, and I deliver it as much as I can in who I am. Like, I've been stupid on this. Like, some people might be concerned about image on this because it's going out, and like lots of people who don't know me are going to see it. But I know I've stayed true, and everything I've talked about with you and how I've come across is precisely how I want to be, because it's who I am. Like,
Yeah.
this is me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's that authenticness that comes through, and I think a lot of the fitness industry doesn't. There's not a lot of that, which I
Yeah.
think is why those
But
sort
you
of
have
people
that so
sort of
brilliantly as
float.
well. Like,
Well, I've sort of
you
watched you
doing
over the
that
years.
Valentine's dinner in your lift, for example.
Fuck, I missed that elevator. But I've watched you over the years doing some of the crazy shit you've done, and that sort of made me go, you know what? I'm going to be able to get away with some of the crazy shit that I've planned because
Well,
Matt's doing it and he's killing
same.
it.
Same, like seeing you do a race dressed as Princess Leia, or like all the stuff you've done. It it validates for both of us that you could be yourself and grow a business and support people.
It's yeah, it's definitely been an interesting journey. Um, where do you think you're going to end up, Matt? You know?
In the shorter term, so I've actually been working with my own coach and studying to be able to understand the psychology more behind people and why they get stuck or block themselves, and to be able to offer that as to enact even deeper change. Like, for some people, building a fitness routine and building and understand that absolutely is more than enough, and that sets them off on that whole new path, and it instantly changes their life. For other people, there are still other things that play, and they can start a fitness journey, but maybe it doesn't stick quite as well as it could. So helping those people understand why they block themselves, why what's behind these reasons, because they're, for example, they're not getting into a groove with it. Why, or even like they're growing confidence in fitness, but they're still quiet at work. Like, let's look at that. And it's because ultimately it's all connected, and there'll be some sort of reasoning to just help people understand themselves and then start to enact change that does go a bit deeper. So that's building that is sort of underway at the moment, which is really exciting. And I've had some amazing breakthroughs with some clients already with that. Longer term, like, I've never been very good with long term, so I don't know, but I just love what I'm doing right now and just being able to expand it. Oh, actually, I do have another, there is another plan for hopefully this year now. So I am a man, I have a male body, I am gay. So that is the experience and life that I live and the guys that I understand best. What I would really, really love to find and work with is a lesbian trainer. So I can say I cover everyone within the LGBT community, because women's bodies are different, and I haven't studied that, and I don't know about menstrual cycles, and like, quite frankly, I don't want to, but I know enough about them to keep that at arm's length. But like, my systems are set up and good to go. If we find the right trainer, she can absolutely come in and we can slot her in, and everything is instantly set up for her to suddenly open up this wealth of being able to help other people as well that I don't fully like understand. That sounds like they're aliens.
No, I
see
get
the headline now. Matt thinks women are aliens. Having someone with that lived experience, that's the difference, which I don't have. So being able to bring fit and confident you for girls basically is something that I very much want to do.
Super exciting, man. Who do you think is going to be right for that role? Not like specifically like Karen, but but like, what are you looking for there?
Someone with, I guess that's partly the problem. I don't know, other than because like a female gay me, is that a thing? I hope so. But that would be ideal. But just someone who's open to, someone who's not. No, look, I'm open to having a chat with anyone, but they would adopt my approach, and it would be about kindness and flexibility and baby steps, and like not scaring people off by saying, like, doing something. It just would be approachable. They would be approachable and lovely, and it would just make sense. Like, I'd want to be friends with them because I would want that connection to be able to work with them that closely.
Yeah.
I'm waffling because I don't actually know the answer, so I'm going to stop waffling.
Are you stalling? You're just like hoping it's going to come up.
Well, I'm still regretting that women are aliens comment that came out earlier.
I'll just write down the time. Actually, you said something before that was quite insightful, so I jotted down the time so that I could create like a 60-second video. So, you know.
Oh, cool.
We might just get a 15-second women are aliens story.
Good. I'm glad you're coming back to that.
You've said a couple of times the live workouts have evolved and changed. What's the format now? Like how does it work?
So start with some top bands because there's such like familiar community that turn up. So we'll start with like, I'll welcome everyone and shout everyone's name out. And if I've come up with something particularly new and stupid, I'll tease it. And then we'll literally do a warm up. And it's pretty much the same warm up every time, but so everyone is ready and Like a warm-up is such a mental thing as well. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm doing ankle circles, then the step backs, then there's like upper body twists, and I'm like, it's a ritual, and I think that's important because it mentally prepares you as well. And then the main workout is normally sort of 12 to 15 minutes, and then there might be something else or a mini challenge. Like, it's almost, it is about the fitness, but it's also just about that people coming together for half an hour and realizing that, there's people who want to share all this together. And like, we cheer people on, and there are birthdays and where people are going for jobs, and there's actually a little Facebook group for it as well, which is really lovely.
Oh, there is? What's the Facebook group?
It's the capybaras. It's basically, I came up with the idea, of course, this idea that one of the warm-up moves, you step over a capybara, the world's largest rodent.
I know capybara. And were you going to get capybara shirts made? Did I see that? Did you get that done? I know you've got the
yeah.
I completely forgot to put on my Fitter Confident You singlet. You know what though? I was wearing it for my birthday dinner the other night. And my brother-in-law, he's like, that's a nice singlet. What's the go with it? He said it looks a bit gay, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's my mate is a gay trainer, and he's like, well, you look like a gay trainer, so that's good marketing. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, good. That's the best answer. Thank you.
I like it.
It is indeed.
This
was a cushion that one of them. Yeah, that cushion. Like the community have given back to me so much for the 200th workout. They made like 2 cushions with amazing capybara fabric on.
That's amazing.
And there's a T-shirt with one coming out. It was mind blowing. And we did a for the 200th workout, we did a 3-hour 20-minute live workout, which is 200 minutes. But obviously with breaks, and it was fine. Like, it wasn't 300 minutes. It was go away and have a toilet, and then come back and bring some water. It was doable.
Well. Not only is 300 sort of a number that Spartans, resonates with Spartans because of the Numidian Battle of Thermopylae and stuff like that, but we would definitely have a 300-minute workout. Like, that's something we would do. That's
brilliant.
Stupid.
Have you done some live workouts?
Have I done some live workouts? Yeah. Here and there. I do a lot with the reset. So. I'm thinking I'm going to start doing them pretty regularly in the FitFam group. I think I might do them a couple of days a week. But I've got to get back into like that body weight HIIT style training. Like, I've just found this real nice groove of my personal training. I'm just sort of riding down to the beach and running on the beach and doing a couple of pull-ups and push-ups. Nice. And it's like, it feels real good, and I'm just in a real good groove, but it's not great content. It's like, I'm running again.
Still running.
Yeah.
But that's important though. Like, us finding time for our own, what we need to do for fitness, because I neglected that for a bit as well, and then last year started running as well, and that, which I hadn't done properly for a long time, consistently, and that's made such a difference. And then, like, remembering to do a few workouts for myself. Like, the live workouts are brilliant, and they do help, and they certainly help keep me fit when I wasn't doing anything else. But like, a few other things, like I said this morning, I did a workout with my friend Dom on Zoom as well. Just a few other extra bits, just for my own headspace, and that own zoning of my life is really important.
Yeah, definitely. You got to look after yourself. You know, especially if you're the Rock, you've got to keep your own cups full. We still haven't found what that group is called. So is it Capybara, the workout group? Is it linked to your page?
No, it's I can't remember. Hold on. It's.
Do you want to just bring it up on your phone?
FCY Capybara Team. If people want to pop into that.
Cappy? How the fuck do I spell Capybara?
CAPYBARA. With FCY at the start.
I've got Capybara Connoisseurs. There's a group of Have you have you
That's
seen this?
it's
There's a
not
group with
us.
19,000 people, 10 posts a day. We love capybaras. Post and share your capybara related content. This is what I love about the internet. Like, it doesn't matter what you're into. There's a group of people that are into it.
It's out there, absolutely. Look, I can post it in the comments afterwards if people want to pop into that.
Please do. I have thrown your page though. Fit you global.
Oh,
Does the workouts, do they go live to your page or your IG?
yeah.
Where do they usually go?
They go live to that one, Fitter You Global, which is the business page. So we expect top hats and suspenders
Top hats.
and a cane.
I have all of those things. I won't tell you why.
Of course you do.
I have I have more fancy dress than some people have real clothes, I think.
Amazing.
When I was moving, the removalists are like, who do all these wigs belong to? I'm like, oh, they're mine.
We haven't seen you in a wig for a while.
It's been a while. It doesn't mean there hasn't been
Too
a
hot for
wig.
a wig.
It just hasn't been on social media.
True.
Are they at a set time, the workouts?
Yes, so Monday to Friday they are 12 p.m. so midday UK time. Not very convenient for live in Australia, I know that.
Well, I'm just trying to work that out. I've actually got, World Time Buddy up here because I thought, okay, that's 10 p.m. for me, 11
Yeah.
p.m. for somebody, because we're in Gold Coast, so we don't have daylight
Yeah.
savings because the farmers complain that it fades the curtains. So
Oh, I think we've hit a nerve there.
a little bit. But I will try and get on a workout. Did I see you did one at like 4 a.m. the other day? Was that a thing?
No, I was in bed. They,
Was there
at the
ever a 4
weekend
a.m.
there.
workout?
No, like unless
Did
I've
I?
got someone impersonating me.
Did that would be a job you would need a lot of energy for. I'll say that first off.
Yeah, good luck.
Maybe I had a dream about you having a 4 a.m. workout.
Maybe
Perhaps.
you did. Lol. No, so the weekend one's at 10 a.m. So that's even a bit more doable. That's 8. No, you're 10 hours ahead.
10 a.m.
So
8
that's
p.m. 8 p.m.
6 p.m.
Too
8
many
p.m.
numbers.
Yes, I know maths.
Yes. 10 I'm only getting it right because I've got the fucking clock thing in front of me where I've got like a slider. Do you use World Time Buddy for like when you've got to jump on international
Sure,
calls?
but look, I'm a personal trainer, not a mathematician.
8 p.m. I might join you for one of the weekend ones. Because what was that then?
Yes, good. This weekend. Actually, as we're talking about it, as of
Saturday night.
next week, I am dropping a few days. So now we've so Monday. So it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, midday. So 10 p.m. for you, or just Saturday at 10 a.m., 8 p.m. for you. But this week, all days still.
Cool. 8 p.m. I'm going to chuck it in my calendar. And
Great.
anyone who's watching, jump on as well.
Come join.
8 p.m. Saturday, Matt
Yeah.
Boyles live workout. It's in the calendar, which means I'll almost definitely be there. Matt
Fab.
Boyles live workout.
Oh, I'll have to make it tougher.
I'll join you. No, that's okay. That's fine. It's Saturday night. I've got a boot camp the next day early, so I'll be happy for it not to be too tough.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Sean's
Awesome.
here. Matt Moore, I want to be involved in your running training. You think about doing a Love You Live workout, so please do them a couple of times a week. I've really enjoyed listening to Matt Boyles as well. Thank you both. No worries at all,
Sure,
Sean.
thank you.
You definitely won't miss the live or the running content. I'm going to do some content for Spartan actually, Spartan Direct.
There you go.
You won't miss it. Matty, anything else you want to cover or plug while I've got you?
No, I think we've put the world to rights.
Love
And this has been lovely. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure, man. It's been my pleasure. We've been mates for a good while. We will either get you over here when we're actually letting
Oh,
people
I
from the UK
imagine.
into the country. That might be like 2024. It's probably going to be better chance I'll be over there.
Yes,
But
that would be
yeah,
amazing.
we
Yeah, it'd be
definitely will
great
catch up
to
one day.
in real life.
I will let you know when it's all on YouTube and everywhere, so you can share
That'd
around. Haven't got any
be
other
my pleasure.
questions. But Dominica, my partner, I missed her comment. Matt B needs Sammy Sparkles. So my I don't know if you've seen on my social media, Sammy Sparkles is my younger sister. So she's
Right.
probably one of the bigger burlesque performers in Australia. And
Amazing.
she
Amazing.
actually, she performs in a troupe called Burlesque, and they're all like gay and bi.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty incredible. I'll send you her socials when we get
I will
off.
check that out. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Andrew's just giving us a thumbs up. I think he's one of yours.
Do you want to know an amazing story?
I
Andy
do.
Mack is a client of mine, and we've been working together for about 6 weeks, and we discovered, get this, his dad is a gynecologist. His dad delivered me
Oh wow,
into the world. What?
wow.
Yes, isn't that
Does he
crazy?
remember you?
Sure. But he was like,
Because I'm
yeah,
sure you
who's this
came out
noisy
like,
baby? Put it back in.
yeah, I'm sure you came out tap dancing. Like, what's happening? Had the bowler hat on.
Yes. Well, yes, oh hell. So yeah, small world.
Interesting. It is a small world. It is a small world. Sorry, sorry, world. Andrew's dad apologizes. Mate, it really has been my pleasure chatting to you. I will let you go. You hang around for a minute or two, but I am going to end the live. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. As I
Yeah,
said,
thank you guys.
as I said, the chat with Matt, it has been diversified a little bit, so I'm going to be chatting to all sorts of people. You mentioned Dom earlier, one of our other online trainer mates. So I'll definitely have a chat to Dom Thorpe, who specialises in what's his I don't want to
Working
paraphrase
with
it.
people with disabilities, specifically MS, chronic illnesses, fibromyalgia, things like that. He does
Perfect.
we do a great job. He does an even more amazing job of changing people's lives.
Yeah, he's in a really good space there. So I'll definitely talk to Dom. But guys, if there's anyone else that you think it would be interesting for me to talk to, let me know. Send me a message. I will try to make those connections. And yeah, a bit of love coming in from Tammy.
Oh, thanks, Tammy.
See you guys.